Konbanwa Mina, Protomoto Des, and today I have for you another TCG supply review. These are the Dragon Shield sleeves, the matte pink versions. So Dragon Shields are a pretty popular brand, and a comment said, could you do a little TCG review on them? I said, sure, yeah. I was looking for new sleeves anyway because I got a ton of cards in for Brothers Legend and for my new Crooked Cook Karibo deck. But yeah. So these are the Japanese size card sleeves. I know they have a larger card sleeve size for standard TCG like Pokemon, but for now this is the Yu-Gi-Oh one. Alright, so over here in the back they have like a bunch of like text that gives you lore. I always enjoy when companies do something like this, when they kind of give the brand a little bit of story and whatnot. But yeah, so you can read that on your own. I think each box and each color has a different dragon tied to it. So this is Mitsanu the Insanity. So I think another box color would have a different dragon name and then give you the lore about them. But yeah, so let's get on to the TCG review, the sleeves review. Alright, so I've only been able to stay home for a while, and I've been using these just as like desk toys in terms of shuffling like this in between like certain meetings and just streaming overall. But I would say overall it's a pretty comfortable feel. It's very similar to the Ultra Pros in terms of shuffle quality. I do think that they're going for the Ultra Pro feel on the back, because when compared to all the other sleeves, these feel most consistent with Ultra Pro. So let's get right into comparing them. So the way I do comparisons nowadays is based on the sort of like high fine grade count on the back, and like and if you have Ultra Pro at home or any of these sleeves that I have over here, these will give you a good estimate of like how they generally feel. Okay. So first off, it's a very high fine grain on the back of these sleeves. Like if you pretty much can feel a lot of the grain as you slowly run your finger over it, which is really nice. I enjoy the sort of like the grainy texture feels of card sleeves. So if you don't like them, that's something you can look out for in terms of this review. But yeah, so let's move on to the Ultra Pro over here. So if you look at the Ultra Pro and the Dragon sleeves over here inside the light, you can tell on the reflection over there, there's the grain count right there, and here is the grain count over here on the yellow ones. Might be a bit hard to see because of this general color, so maybe I'll break out the purple ones instead. So if you look at the purple ones over here, you can see the grain count of the purple Ultra Pros compared to the grain count of the Dragon Shields right there. Alright. So in terms of grain count on the back, it's pretty similar overall. I don't think that if you showed the back of this, a person would figure out like the difference, because unless they're really high detailed. I'd say that this probably the Ultra Pros feel a bit smoother to the touch, but that's just it overall. So when compared like the Dragon Shields to the Ultra Pros, the Dragon Shields have a more texture to like a bit like a scale of a dragon, I would say, if that's the term they're gonna go for. It's more a bit of a grain. It has a nice texture to it, while the Ultra Pros are very slick in terms of grain. They have some, but it's very it's actually they have a lot more grain because it's more smoother, and then this has a lesser grain in terms of on the sleeve on the back. But the also good thing about this one though is that they look the same, and card size similar enough. Like they are literally identical. You would not be able to tell like an Ultra Pro from a Dragon Shield from that far away. Like the Dragon Shields are a bit taller on top, so you see a little pink popping up there. But that's pretty much it in terms of that. They also have Ultra Pros have like this ugly dot on it. I'm not a fan of the dot down here. I kind of wish they got rid of it. I don't think it's necessary. But yeah, so like all the other sleeves that you see over here, the Dragon Shields don't have that dot, because I think that dot was only like distinct to Ultra Pro for some reason, which is really weird. But yeah, so moving on to the Imperium Duelist sleeves. So these sleeves are I think this is the first sleeve that I did actually review on, were the Imperium Duelist ones. So this one's, I would say, is similar enough to grain count on terms of the backings. It's really hard to see on the white. Yeah, so if you look at the backs of these, like, in terms of grain count, this one has, like, much more longer grain. So it has less texture, but it still has some. The only thing that I don't like about the Imperium ones when compared to this is that there is a distinct, like, card cut size to this, and I just don't like it because it just looks bad, and they don't fit the KMCs properly. But I do think Imperium have their own oversleeves, though, so that's something I might check out later on. But yeah, so there's a distinct, like, millimeter edge to the KMC, not the KMC, the Imperium Duelist. You see how that white pokes out? Yeah, right there. So this white means that it's slightly larger than the Dragon Shield sleeves. Alright, so moving on to the backs of the KMC sleeves. So the KMCs were really weird because these ones are like low grain count, and like it kind of feels like a camo texture, if you can think about it that kind of way, where it's like not everything like feels the same, while like these ones I could tell are like just dots on the back of the sleeves. But yeah, so this one has a bit bigger grain, I'd say, and this one has a bit more thinner grain. In terms of shuffle quality, I think they're both the same, because these ones over here, they kind of have the stickiness of them, like that. You kind of stick together, very hard to shuffle through. But compared to the Dragon Shields, like, they're pretty easy to shuffle overall, in my opinion. Like, they don't get sucked as often as they do. But these over here are the Konami character sleeves, the Gagaga versions of it. I don't think that you're going to be able to pick this one up, but in general, Konami sleeves are very, not say cheap, but they're very, like, mediocre in quality. So you could definitely tell in terms of, like, overall kind of tearing. These will tear fairly easily. I think a couple of them are starting to tear already. While compared to, like, the Dragon Shields, are very more higher quality. I wouldn't say premium, but their build quality is a bit better compared to the Konami character sleeves. Alright, but moving on to double sleeving. So double sleeving has been around for a bit inside Yu-Gi-Oh! Because we recently got allowed tournament legal-wise to do that. So in terms of this over here, I do think that the KMC sleeves are... not KMC, sorry. I keep saying KMC. The Dragon Shield sleeves. So the Dragon Shield sleeves kind of fit a bit, or feel a bit bigger. I do think that there's only like a couple cards extra inside this deck, but over here inside the purple, in my right hand, are the Ultra Pro, and these are basically this is basically the thickness quality, I'd say. So let's do that. So thickness quality test. I'm pretty sure that this only has like a cut, like on my left hand here is like 5 cards extra, but you can definitely tell like these are pretty similar in terms of like sizing. So don't be afraid to transfer your Ultra Pros into Dragon Shields. But yeah, and overall for shuffle quality, it's more of the KMC Overshield that is really being shuffled. So that's something that you could check out on the channel. I'll leave a link or a little card somewhere over for the KMC over Silver Scroll Shields or card protectors. All right. Well, I think that's pretty much it for this review. I do think overall the Dragon Shields are a really good bang for your buck, because I got this off Amazon for $50 for a pack of 10 with a which is like a full box of 10 packs of shields. So it's definitely worth the money if you have $50 lying around and you need some extra card sleeves here and there if you're sleeving up decks, or if you built some stuff from before and you need some more extra sleeves and you don't want to buy Ultra Pro, because Ultra Pro I think on Amazon only does like bulks of 3, which is really weird. But if you're looking for like bulk sleeves that look good and feel good, I definitely recommend checking out the Dragon Shield ones. But yeah, I should mention that this is not a sponsored video, just for the record. But yeah, so definitely check them out. I do think that I might be switching over from Ultra Pro just because it's a bit harder to buy Ultra Pro in bulk. So I do think the main pro of this was pretty much no ugly circle dot in the card text, as well as buying in bulk. So thank you guys for watching. Leave a comment on what you want to see next on the channel, and I will catch you guys later. All right, so sayonara.